Hello everyone, and welcome back to Campus Nightly. Tonight, we are joined with an exclusive interview from Seton Hall President Monsignor Reilly. Tonight, the interview is going to show you, the students, about what the president does at the university and just to get to know the man a little bit better. So, without further ado, Monsignor, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Welcome.
It is an absolute pleasure.
It's good to be with you.
It's exciting, right?
It is absolutely exciting, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't have asked for a better guest tonight, and I'm super excited to get to know you and to, kind of have you share your experiences with us about, how you kind of got to this point where you became the president of a university. So just starting off, I want to know what your childhood was like and, what were the building stones in your early childhood that kind of led you down the path of priesthood?
Sure. So I'm happy to be with you tonight. And I grew up not too far from here in Union County. Mountainside was the town I grew up in. My mom had grown up in New York City and my dad here in New Jersey. And when they got married, they settled in Mountainside. And have three brothers, kind of grew up in a normal household or whatever. But my mom had an aunt from Ireland who was a sister who was always in her house. My dad had two uncles who were priests. So we always had religious around the house. It was part of my lived experience growing up or whatever. And it was a normal family life. We went to church on Sundays. My mom went a little bit more than that, but as a family, we went every church on Sundays. And in terms of fulfilling the call to the priesthood, when I was very young, I actually thought about being a priest like I was 6, 7 years old. In fact, I don't know if they still exist. There was a candy called Necco wafers. There's like a little thing, and they look like the host. So with my younger brother, I pretend I was celebrating Mass and giving in the host for Mass. So it was something, I think part of it was the consciousness of having religious people around the house growing up or whatever. And so, it just became part of my thought process. And then other things kind of just growing up like a regular kid or whatever. But it came back to me, the thought of becoming a priest. When I was in high school, I got involved in the youth group in my home parish. And then I went to Seton Hall Prep and got involved there. So the thought of kind of the maturing thought of maybe this is what God might want me to do began to become more of a conscious thought of rumination in my heart and mind. So that's when I began to seriously pray about it and think about it. And I talked to some of the priests in my parish and then decided to go in after high school into the college seminary, which is the undergraduate school for guys who are considering the priesthood to study philosophy and theology. And then it's right here on campus, so I was taking class with regular students, but I was living with about 30 other men who were also in the same place of considering fatherhood or priesthood. So the support and the prayer and the encouragement there kind of helped me along.
So you attended Seton Hall University.
Yep.
And how was that? What was that like, going through that process here? Because obviously I've met some other people who have gone through similar processes like Father John, and they go through these processes here. What is that? Can you tell me what that's like at Seton Hall specifically?
Yeah, so at Seton Hall, well, Father John Dennehy, when he was ordained, he was the first class that was that used the residence, which is off campus now for the college seminary. It's just across from the Veterans Hospital on Center Street. There's an old Episcopal church and a church house. So Seton Hall bought it, and that became the residence for the college seminary. Prior to that, it was the third floor, I think, in Bowl & Paul that was reserved. One of the wings there was for guys who were, in the divinity school, they call it the time, but college seminary. So it was a great thing for me at the time because I felt I needed the support and being surrounded by people. As much as I felt strongly attracted to the priesthood, it's kind of a counterculture thing. Most people at that age are thinking about becoming doctors or teachers or, businessmen or lawyers, whatever it was. And so there wasn't a lot of people around that were thinking about, hey, I want to be a priest. So it was good to be in an environment. My family was very supportive of me, but it was good to be in an environment where you have people who are kind of in the same place, who it's kind of like why lawyers study together in law school, doctors in medical school, because you're sharing a common interest. The experience is the same, and sometimes the struggles are the same that people have as well. And it was an environment of prayer and encouragement and the words that they would use in the seminaries. There's growing into, if it's God's call for you, to this call, to be able to receive it. So for me, it was wonderful. I just appreciate the community. I love the structure and the prayer life. And it was just what I needed at that time in my life. Yeah.
I think no matter, what your faith is, that connection of brotherhood really is something, brotherhood and sisterhood and community, something that really brings everyone together. And I feel like that's something Seton Hall has very much fostered. in every sense of the way. I know since I've been here, brotherhood is in like, the Seton Hall being this community is definitely something I've felt. And I'm very, very nice to hear that even someone as like the president of the university felt like they went through the similar struggles that I might have gone through during my experience here, and they ended up, going on and becoming president. So how does one go from becoming a priest to becoming the president?
So in this instance, so Seton Hall was founded in 1856 as a diocese school. And so what that means is that it's part of this local church. So the Archdiocese of Newark, one of the ways that the Archdiocese serves this local area is through the ministry here at Seton Hall University. So I was ordained in 1991 as a priest of the Archdiocese. I was at a parish, then I taught at Seton Hall Prep in administrative roles. So my bishop, when I was at Seton Hall Prep, he said to me, Joe, I want you to go to Seton Hall University for the college seminary. So it was the middle of the school year, and I said, I guess I'm going to Seton Hall University. So in January of 2002, I came here to Seton Hall to be at the college seminary at St. Andrews, and I was there for 10 years, and then I went to the major sem for 10 years. And I worked at the provost office, and then the position of president opened up, and the bylaws of the university said that it's supposed to be a Catholic priest, so they made exceptions to that. And rightly so over the course of history. But the board decided at this point that they wanted to return to the practice of having a priest president.
Yeah. It's been a very long time since we've had a priest president here at Seton Hall, and I feel like, maybe some traditions are, not so bad. Going back to tradition is never a bad thing, especially since, 3 presidents in 3 years, which is actually something I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
So 3 presidents in 3 years. I wanted to ask you about how you and your office, how are you guys looking to bring back stability to the president's office and to the role of the president, which I haven't experienced any stability since I've been here. Since all 3 years, I've had a different president.
Yeah, so I'll only speak for myself and my personal experience. Right, so I think one of the reasons I think it's a natural desire for people, especially in terms of leadership, to be able to look to an individual who's going to be in a role for a while. It says that, they value the position and they want to be able to lend some kind of steadiness into the experience. And so from my perspective, being a priest of the Archdiocese, this is my home.
Yeah.
Seton Hall, I'm at home right now, but the Archdiocese is my home. My family all lives here. This is where I grew up. And I think that because I've been on campus here since 2002, I know a lot of the people know me, and I think those relationships, we talked about community before, relationships that are the heart of the network, if you will, of the community. I think having that sense of rootedness in a particular community helps to lend itself to stability.
This is almost like a full circle thing for you.
Yeah.
You grew up here, you've had all these experiences here when you attended the university yourself, and then you come back to kind of provide the stability to other students to have that same experience that you had. And that's really inspiring for me because that's kind of what I wanted. And I think a lot of people were looking for in a president was someone who's been here, understands the culture on the school, understands how it's constantly changing in good ways. And we need someone who's going to be able to help transition and facilitate change for the better of the university. And I want to talk about how, we talk about helping kids grow. What are things that your office is looking to do to provide the opportunities for those students to grow? Anything specifically?
I would see it important from the perspective from which I try to live and from the position which I have at this point in service is trying to provide an opportunity where people feel comfortable to discover their God-given gifts. We're trying to bring people with the same mindset that, it's not about ambition. It's not about kind of maneuvering it and, creating this stepping stone for yourself or whatever, but rather seeing that the people that are here, that are teaching here and working here and serving here, all are here for the same reason, and that's for the good of the students. That's the house always has to be the first good. You know what I mean? Believe that Seton Hall is a place for you in every sense of what that means, and support, encouragement, acceptance, welcome, strength, assistance if people need it, and like you said, then be a part of family. So it's a family that's been. Before I was even born, my father was part of the family. My brother is so ungrateful for that.
And we're so grateful for you for coming
thanks.
on tonight. Thank you so
Well,
much,
here, God bless you.
President. Thank you God bless you too, sir. This has been
Campus Nightly.
with me. I am Graham Marshman.
To our viewers at Seton Hall
And beyond, good night and hazard set forward.